Hey guys, welcome to the 34th. That's right, I'm definitely hammering these out as much as I can. 34th edition of the Animated Girl Profiles Confidential, and I've got just the one to talk about. Of course, you see the name down below. This is a character that I do not know why, when they decided to do the movie adaptation, they did not adapt the character correctly or the right way. They just decided to do what a lot of people have said was a Josie and the Pussycats clone, if not worse. And that, of course, is uh, Jem and the Holograms, aka Jerrica Benton. And this, to me, is a character when you compare the movie adaptation and uh, the animated adaptation and the original animated version. This is a character from an animation standpoint done right. And when you compare it, from what I've heard, to the comic book by IDW, that is an updated adaptation of a character done right. So, for anybody that doesn't know about the original Jem storyline, I mean, let's ignore the fact that they screwed that up in the movie, okay? But for some of you that don't know the original Jem storyline, long story short, Jerrica Benton in the animation, the true continuity, if you will, and I think they may have stayed true to that in the comics, her father passes away. Now, that is one thing I'll give the movie. Her father has already passed away. That's one thing I'll give the movie, but not in the sense that we know is true. Anyway, long story short, her father passes away and essentially leaves Starlight Music in her care. Unfortunately, long story short, the antagonist for the series, Eric Raymond, ends up gaining control of Starlight Music because of certain reasons. I don't know what they are. I think maybe because Jerrica's not ready yet. I don't know. I got to go back and watch the episodes. But anyway, long story short, Jerrica does not understand this. Like, they're supposed to be sharing it. I mean, she understands maybe she's going to have help, but not in this manner. So, along the way, she gets these earrings. She gains possession of these earrings or something. I don't know if she gets the earrings first or what. What did she get? Huh. But basically, she gets some kind of a message, if you will. But basically, she gets contacted again. I don't know if it's the earrings that she was given or what, but she's contacted by basically she has basically she gets contacted by Synergy. Another character gets introduced, and Synergy basically takes her to the secret location her father used to have. It was hidden underneath a drive-through screen, if you can believe that. So she ends up going there, discovering this supercomputer, which I think the earrings she's given. I'm not sure if she's given. She finds the earrings or what. I got again. I got to rewatch. Uh, but basically, she is told by Synergy to use the earrings, to put them on, use them, and to touch them, and say, Showtime Synergy or something like that. She's basically told by Synergy that she could disguise her as somebody else. She could help them out in various ways. So that's how she becomes Jem of Jem and that's how, and that's how basically she, Kimber, Shauna, and um, Asia. I think. Well, what's the name? Shayna, Aja. You know, you know, Aja. They basically became the holograms thanks to Synergy. Now, basically because of this, she's able to win back through a contest, Starlight Music. However, Eric Raymond becomes obsessed with the fact that not only did he lose to Jerrica Benton's new band, her new discovery, but he's determined to find out who Jem is. Like, why all of a sudden is Jem? Because he starts to kind of put two and two together. Well, not two and two together, but he starts to get suspicious, I should say, at the fact that when Jerrica disappears, Jem shows up, and when Jem disappears, Jerrica shows up. So he's kind of wondering, what's going on here? Why isn't Benton around when I need her when her band performs? Now they do take care of this later on. They do take care of this in episode 9, in a sense. They kind of basically they kind of fix this in a sense. I know some people might say it's a cop out, but they basically do kind of fix this by having Synergy use the power to to create a holograph of Jem. Well, the of Jem. Well, Jerrica changes back into herself so that there's no confusion. So that's what happens there. But still, Eric Raymond is determined to find out who this Jem is. And there are several episodes that he comes close thanks to the Misfits, who also want to find out who this is, in doing so. Now, they never do find out who Jem is, thankfully. The only time Jem and Jerrica's identity is revealed to be one is in the second season. So, like I said, he's, basically they're determined to find out, who she is. So, and even when the stingers get introduced and everything, they're determined. But like I was saying, I kind of got lost there for a second. I was lost in my train of thought there. In the second season, as I was saying, Jem's identity does get discovered by the newest member of the of the holograms, because in the second season, they're not sure if Shayna is going to be around because the one thing about some of the characters, especially, and this gets more developed later on in the second season, is they have other goals they want to accomplish. Shayna, she wants to be a fashion designer, and she has a chance in the second season at the beginning to try to pursue that. So they create a talent contest, and Raya is the character that becomes part of the band, and Raya finds out who Jem's identity is. And again, this is also another example of Eric Raymond wanting to get the identity find out the identity from somebody, find out who Jem is. And Raya doesn't do that. Thus, she proves not only is she talented enough to be part of the holograms, she's talented enough it's not only is she talented enough to be part of the holograms, but she has a good enough heart to say, hey, I ain't going to resist this kind of crap. I ain't going to do this. Now, what's funny about this is the only time that anybody outside of the holograms knows who Jem is, knows that Jem and Jerrica are one and the same. So, as far as I know, through the rest of the series, and again, I do apologize for getting a little lost train of thought and repeating what I said earlier, because I was looking up information. But like I said, the one thing I'm pretty sure of is that through the rest of the episode, nobody else, maybe except for maybe with a select few, nobody else outside of the holograms, but found out that Jem and Jerrica were one and the same. I mean, not even Rio, which a lot of people, I mean, that guy with the long-haired creepy guy, and his plush companion, Chibi Hulu. When they do the retrospective, they even say that it's kind of stupid that Rio doesn't figure it out. Like, they did one of the more recent retrospectives, not the one they just did recently, but one that came before it. They kind of praised the fact that Rio may have finally put two and two together, until Jem again pulls off something we saw in episode 9 in season 1, and that's have Synergy create a holographic version of Jem. So, again, we don't know if he does ever find out, or he does kind of catch on that maybe they all one and the same, but doesn't say anything. But as far as I know, and I never really watched Jem that much as a kid. Growing up, I have more of an appreciation of the impact that it's had on 80s animation and the cultural impact that's left behind, as well as its legacy. So, to me, I think, so as far as I know, I don't think anybody else found out. I mean, maybe one of the Starlight Girls did. I'm not really sure, but I don't really think so. But overall, Jerrica Benton, Jem, her character in the original animated series, which I'm hearing was properly adapted into the IDW take on the series, is an example of a character done right, and an example of what is targeted originally as a girls' show done correctly to not just keep its targeted audience intrigued, but to also do something that Friendship is Magic has done in the past several years, and that's bring in a wider, broader audience of not just other female fans, but male fans as well, boys and girls, alike. Because not only does it have something for the girls, the majority of it anyway, it has something for the boys. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, though, that's all I'm going to say on Jem, Jerrica Benton, here on the 34th edition of the Animated Girl Profiles Confidential. You guys let me know what you think down below. Comment if you like. If I missed anything,